What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Predator Hunting Grounds video. Today we're going over one of the official PlayStation podcast episodes that recently featured Illfonic. This has been sent to me a handful of times, and some exciting things came from this podcast, so I wanted to share them with you, and maybe why we should stop worrying so much about the official release for Predator Hunting Grounds. First of all, the first thing they talk about is whether or not they are going to address balancing. And they've pretty much said exactly what a lot of people who play a lot over trial weekend are saying. If you were able to play as Predator more and more over the weekend, you got better and you learned how to play him properly. And they said by the end of the weekend that the numbers that they have in the back end statistics pretty much showed things evening out, roughly 50-50 between Fire Team winning and Predator winning. And I will say that's kind of what I experienced as well. I'd actually say it was towards the end of the weekend, it was definitely more in favor of Predator as people started to figure him out. And this is what we've all said a million times, because in my first stream for Predator Hunting Grounds, I hated playing Predator. It was like impossible to win. It was really, really frustrating. But by the end of the weekend, that's all I wanted to do was play Predator. It was extremely satisfying. There's just a learning curve there and things you have to unlock to be more successful, or successful easier, that is. So, yeah, I agree with that. They said they're still addressing some things in terms of balancing, but it's not nearly as much as we may have thought originally when everybody thought Predator was extremely underpowered. Another thing they said they're going to be addressing, or already are addressing, is performance, which of course to me is by far the biggest issue right now in Predator Hunting Grounds. When you look at the difference between playing on a PC right now through Epic Games and playing on a standard PS4, I mean, it is drastically different. PS4 looks like you're playing on a day one Nintendo Switch. It's very, not only is it graphically declined very drastically, which I don't mind as much, the FPS is a big issue. When you have a lot of things going on like grenade launchers and miniguns and Predator trying to come out and slash you down, your FPS drops drastically, making at times practically unplayable. So I'm glad that that's like top of their list priority. They're working on performance, and ideally we're going to see relatively clean performance come April 24th at the full release. I said earlier in this video that maybe we should take a step back and realize that Predator Hunting Grounds is in a better place than maybe we even expected, and I further reiterate that point because Illfonic said on this podcast that the build that we were playing on during the trial weekend was actually already 6 weeks old at the time. And they said that some of the issues that came up during the trial weekend were actually already fixed in the current build that they're working on. So that's exciting. That means we're looking at a 2.5 month difference in a build here once the full release happens. So like I said, I'm hoping optimization-wise and performance and balancing, all that should be relatively clean once we see the full release. But of course, we can only find out once we play it ourselves on April 24th. And then last but not least here, for things that came out of this podcast, Illfonic did talk a little bit about post-launch content, which of course, DLC in general. They did say that they have a big plan moving forward with DLC, that this is not a game that they're going to walk away from upon release, that they're going to be having updates and having new content. They plan on supporting it for a long time. So that's extremely exciting. Expected, but of course still exciting. There's a million different things you could do for content Predator Hunting Grounds, that being, maps and new Predators classes, and new Fire Team classes, and new objectives to play, and new skins to have, and there's just a lot to do in Predator Hunting Grounds that they can constantly be adding to, and hopefully we see some on-screen characters make their way into the game like that of Dutch. And like I said, we've talked about it before, that Arnold did confirm that he did do a voiceover at some point for a Predator game, but we also know that a Predator VR game is happening in the future, so still no confirmation on which game Arnold did his voice for, but hopefully it was Hunting Grounds, hopefully it's for Dutch here, and we get to see a character like that. But only time will tell. All I do know is that there will be DLC in the future, but again, very much expected. So that's my thoughts. Please let me know yours in the comments below. Hopefully this lets you relax a little bit and realize that we probably have a stronger game at launch than we may have anticipated, and that it should be much smoother than the trial was. But yeah, I'll be the first to let you know. On April 24th will be all of that thing. So if you're not already, please subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss a video or stream in the future. But that's going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like. And if you really enjoyed what you see, consider becoming a member for as low as $2. And with that, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you next time.